Welcome, everyone, and this is the weekly JV Partner webinar, usually attended by some of the JV partners. Today, no one is here yet. I know a few people are probably going to be coming in, so I just wanted to say hi to everybody. What we do is we do these every week, and what happens is I have people that I work with, known as JV partners, and that they then and we discuss things amongst ourselves, and you guys get a chance to listen in and sometimes ask some questions, which is always fine. Feel free to do so. If you have any questions, you can throw those up and we'll be happy to do that. There are a number of issues that I wanted to talk about today, and I was hoping that some of the folks would be here, and I think they probably will in due time. First thing that I wanted to talk about is the fact that if all of you are in information marketing, you should be thinking about the fact that everyone needs. And I see Avish is just about to join us here. So he's almost on. He will be ready shortly. I will see him. And there he is. Avish, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. I was thinking that I might have to do this on my own today because you are the only JV partner in attendance. And for that, I thank you. And I think there should be a prize, but no one corporate hasn't told me what that is yet.
Well, that's okay. I'll keep a tally.
Yeah, and so I was thinking about talking a little bit about things that we were talking about earlier. But first off, one of the things that Avish just sent me an email on is, could I take a look and review, give him some thoughts on a book that he's writing, unrelated to our own stuff? And the answer is yeah, of course. I mean, it's something that I'll be happy to take a look at. So. And this is something that all of you should be doing. One of the things I was thinking of Avish, is that because you've got such good relationships, as it relates to books, I would encourage you. Obviously, this is going to be available on Amazon, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing I would do as soon as the book is out is I would try and get as many people as possible to give you a 5-star review.
Hmm.
That way, it's sort of loaded and people will go there. Obviously, you want them to at least have looked at the book to be able to make that comment. But since it's going to be on Amazon, one of the strengths, one of the reasons why I will always, I'll consider buying a book and usually make a purchase decision if there are plenty of people who've given positive reviews. And I think that you stack the deck in your favor by doing that. So I'm sure you've already thought about that, and that's nothing new, right?
Yeah. One of the ebooks I had bought through this whole thing about how to kind of create and market so ebook talks about that. So once I've got kind of the book written, then I need to start that process. But yeah, I'm not gonna have a huge launch, but a mini launch, and right before that, I want to get lots of reviews and so on. So yeah.
Good. Okay, so I think that that's always helpful to me. The nice thing is now, as we were talking about earlier, also, is that there's different places for you to be talking about and different places for you to be launching your material. Amazon is obviously one of them. One of the things that I always think about when we talked about that earlier is the whole concept that I've been talking about for years, which is find traffic and jump in front of it.
Hmm.
And if you ask yourself, and you were to take a look at some of the top rated sites, in the country and the world, obviously Amazon would be one of them, eBay would be another, Google would be another. And so in keeping with listing those that way, um, you want to obviously have your books listed there, and you want to make sure that you sometimes do you, by the way, do you have an eBay account, Avish?
An eBay account? Yeah.
Yeah. Have you sold anything on there?
No, I've bought some things over the years, but never actually sold anything on eBay.
I mean, my whole thought is that it makes sense to be selling things on there as well, even if it's just your book at the same list price that people can get it on Amazon. So
Hmm.
it's showing up because, again, if you look at the most highly trafficked sites, whether it's eBay, Amazon, Google, and a few others, it makes sense to have your stuff listed there. I see Dave Hamilton has joined us.
Hey, Brett.
Dave, and I tried to call you earlier regarding Penn State matters, but wasn't able to get through. We can talk about that later.
Ugh, yeah, I'm not taking calls on that right
Yeah,
now.
I can imagine. Um, although I did think of a joke that I didn't know if it was appropriate or not, and I'll say it here. Again, understanding that this is meant in a comedic frame, but earlier today, this is my joke, by the way. Earlier today, reporters attempted to get a hold of Herman Cain to get a contact on recent allegations against him. Unfortunately, they were unable to reach him. He was sequestered in an office writing a thank you note to Joe Paterno.
You know what? That's probably not far from the. He's happy to get the spotlight off him.
Oh man,
Jeez.
I just think it could be. I mean, I hate. I'm not making light of the issue involved,
Yeah.
but I'm telling you, it's just, when something like this happens, it dominates. So the thing that I was thinking of is I spent this. When was it? About a week and a half ago, I went with Burke Allen, who is another joint venture partner, and I met him at the casino where his client, Landau Eugene Murphy, was performing. And Landau Eugene Murphy is the guy who won, Junior, by the way. He won the America's Got Talent contest. And I got to meet him and hung out with him and his wife for a while, and then went to this after party. And the thing that really impressed me when you talk to Burke, who is our publicity expert, is oftentimes when you get publicity, hopefully, good publicity, it doesn't last very long because there's always a news story that's going to knock you off, the top of the news. And so, he's trying desperately to get out. I think he launches his CD that he recorded with Frank Sinatra Jr.'s orchestra November 21st. And, so I think it brings up a good point, which is that when you see something publicity-wise, it's good to jump on it right away. And I know that Jason has had some good success when he did some of his stuff with PR Web. Avish, do you remember he spent like $200, right?
Yeah, I think that's the number he said.
And I think that he got something like some ridiculous amount of backlinks, like 300 or something like that. I don't remember the exact number, but it's
he was complaining about something like he was so anxious to do it that he had like not set his backlinks up correctly, but he got like a ton of hits on those originally.
Nice, yeah. And so the reason why I bring up the Landau Eugene Murphy Jr. story is that he won America's Got Talent, but the problem is that kind of notoriety isn't going to last very long. So Burke was rushing to get the CDs into production, even before Thanksgiving, so that they could be selling them. Because you even ask people like who was last year's American Idol winner, and very few people can remember it. I wanted to, I saw something done last night on this webinar that I was attending, Dave, that I was surprised by, and maybe you can help me on this. The person on the webinar was promoting a product. Okay, so the webinar went for about an hour, and then he had 15 minutes or so to pitch the product for about $1,000. The thing that he did on the webinar is he also broke it up into you could either pay in full, or you could break it up into 2 or 3 payments. And so my question to you, Dave, is he only was providing, so the product was only provided, was only being sold in physical form. Do you have a knock on the door there? That's one of the kids, Dave.
Yeah, sorry. Someone's knocking on the door. My bad.
No, that's okay. But I think it's interesting. This guy was only providing his product in physical form. Now, naturally, it was a bunch of DVDs, and so it's video. And Dave, are you still attentive, or are you dealing with
Yep.
it? Okay.
No, I'm with you.
Here's what I was confused by. This guy was selling the program only in DVD form. Now, you have recently come up with a system whereby people can basically take their content and put it behind a paywall and make it so that others have to pay a fee. They get behind your paywall. They see one of your web pages, and it basically has all of those. Do you have any ideas why this guy might be only selling his DVDs in physical form, other than laziness?
Well, that was that. I doubt there's a strategy there. I mean, it could be argued that you can offer a higher price point for DVDs, but I think you're also cutting off a lot of people that like to get their hands on it right away.
Yeah, and speaking to that, one of the things that I discussed with Bill DeWeese, who can't be on with us today, is with Bill's program. And by the way, has he gotten back to you on some of that? He's got
Yeah,
DVDs. Tell me what's
we
going on
have
there.
well we have his second site is about 75% done.
Can we look at it
Um,
yet or not?
yeah, well, yeah, sure. It's well, it's in a very under construction state, but it's audiobooksuccess.com.
Okay. And so this is in a work in progress state, right?
Yeah, there's no banner or anything, but if you want, I can.
Is this you want to take the screen and show it to us?
Yeah, sure, sure.
Okay. Let me
Go
give
ahead
that to you
and
1 second, and then give me a while to change the size of the screen on my screen so that it gets properly recorded. So give me a second
sure,
before I
sure.
give you the go ahead. Um,
Okay.
so you should have it, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Can
let
you?
me hold on one sec. Let me adjust this in terms of
Okay.
sizing so that I am making sure that everybody who is watching this after the fact can see it properly. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. You can see my screen here.
Yep.
Okay. Well, just a quick what the situation is. Bill just did a seminar for people, voiceover artists that want to get into the audiobook industry, and it was up in Chicago. It seemed to go very well, and he had it recorded, 2 camera setup, and he's sitting on all this footage, and he's like, "Well, what can I do with it?" He can record DVDs, but he and I talked, and you, Fred, and we said, "Look, send me the video. I will set up this page where it's a turnkey system. People click a buy link, they pay, they get a username and password, and they can enter the members area and watch the video."
Now,
Well, what?
the important thing to mention here, Dave, is it isn't just for video. What this system is it protects a page which can have video on it, it can have text, it can have audio, it can have anything, correct?
That's exactly right. In fact, this is the site, and I haven't done a banner yet, but the material that he wanted to sell was both all the video files and he had a whole bunch of handouts. Well, if you see this link up here, seminar handouts,
Yep.
and when you click on it, these are all the Word documents that he had handed out. For instance, if you want to do an audition script for religion, I
Okay.
will see. If you click on, it's basically just a Word file. So everything, it's as if you were at the webinar or at the seminar. And I have the first video up. I'll show you what it looks like. Um,
Now,
this is kind of,
could we put that Microsoft Word file or a text file or something up so that it's immediately visible without having to click on it on a page?
uh, what do you mean?
Well,
Like just,
I want to be able to go into a page and see a video like you've got here, and right below it see text if I want to.
oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. He can have, in fact, you'll see here, I said, "Hey Bill, tell me the intro for this video." And he may want to put the download links right here. He may want to put a couple paragraphs here. He may even want to put some audio links right here. For now, I just have the video, but if somebody just were to come to this, pay, get access, they can, there's a little intro, but you'll see. So this is the live footage. Well, not live, but it is the footage from his event. And when he first took it, he said the first video was 60 gigabytes. And I said, "Bill, you need 60 megabytes." And he said, "No, 60 gigabytes." I thought, oh my goodness. So we basically had to use some tools to reduce the video. It's very good quality, but it's just way, way, way too big. So I have a tool called Handbrake where I can change the file size and the file format and reduce it down. And it went from,
What is it now?
it's just under 100 megabytes.
Okay, so you went from 60 gig to 100 meg, which is a compression of what, over 50 times, right?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So, and that's half the battle right there is, 60 gigabytes is too big for even DVDs. That's like for broadcasting on TV. He had to put it on a hard drive. So the bottom line is we took the footage, we compressed it, and we put it on a website so now anybody can see it instantly after they pay for it.
Nice. And so again, for people who are watching this, this is a sort of a tool that you've developed, and the net result is that number one, the customer can be satisfied more quickly by getting access to those videos right away rather than having to wait to get them in the mail, A, and B, you as the provider of these videos, if you're selling them, can get your money right away as well, right?
Exactly. Well, and if I could say this, that we just finished a few days ago his other product like this, the voiceover playbook, and which is right here. Now this is the sales page for it.
What is it?
Um, and we weren't even done yet, and somebody found the site, clicked this, paid $247, and he's like, "Hey, the members area doesn't look done." And I said, "Bill, what are you doing? I'm not done yet." He's already making money, and I haven't even finished it yet.
Yeah,
So
and so what this is that what Dave and I had been talking about, and what Dave has been working on, Avish, also, I don't know if you know this, is a system by which, sort of
sorry.
a templated system where people can take their information products, be they audio, video, or text, put them behind a paywall, meaning to say people have to pay to get access to a page. Once they pay to get access to that page can then it can display video, audio, or text that people have gotten and paid for and have sort of a key to get through that door. And so, Avish, do you have any questions? Because Dave and I have been talking about this, so I know this pretty well.
I mean, I don't right now. I'm just thinking about how, different ways of using this kind of system.
Dave, could you sort of give us some ideas about alternate ways in which you think people could use this or information marketing?
Yeah, well, exactly. I've after talking with you, I had three ideas that I thought what people would use this for, and you introduced the fourth. But the three that this is a problem that people have now, and that is how do you deliver content. And there's only two ways before this. One is you mail them something on a disc or whatever, and two is you ask them to download it. Well, this brings a third delivery system, and here's the three things they can use it for that I've come up with. I'm sure there's more. One is if, like Bill, if they have a seminar that they've recorded. And Fred, you took one of your audio seminars, a 2-day New York thing where you recorded the audio. It's a product ready to sell now.
Well,
So
let's
that's one.
take a look at that. So I'm sorry.
Okay.
So let's go through through them, and then you can show the one that I did. So a seminar
Okay,
that you
sure.
recorded. What else?
That's a seminar's one. The second one is a course. There's a lot of people that teach courses, and they have it, the outline worked out and it's all set, but the only way they can deliver the course is at a live event, or a one-time webinar. But this way, it allows you to have broken down into a menu. Module 1, step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Module 2, step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they just add the content, and you can literally have someone go through a course. They pay to get access to the course. Nobody else can see it. So if anybody has training, and here's an application that's already in the works. There's a local business here that sells forklifts. And with the forklift, they have mandatory OSHA training they've got to provide.
Now, question
Well,
for you: Can this
yeah,
content be dripped out based on a time schedule? In other words, if you have a course that has 12 pieces to it, 12 modules, can we have those delivered the first of every month, starting in January?
absolutely, absolutely. And in fact, that's a great way to do it. People think, oh, you should give it to the whole thing to everybody all at once. And sometimes that may be good, but that's overwhelming to people. But if here's week one's content, and do this. Next week, okay, week 2 is ready. Go onto the site and look at week 2 content. So absolutely, that's easy to do, to drip that like
And
that.
what's the third thing that we can do? A seminar being recorded, a course, multi-piece course. What else?
The third is very simply if you have a DVD, and a lot of people have recorded uh, DVDs with 8 or 10 tracks, whatever that is. It could be standing against a wall talking. It could be a power recorded PowerPoint thing. Anything that somebody is selling on a DVD, they should be selling in this instant access format.
Okay, and in this instant access format, then how do you where do people go to find out more about this if they wanted to use it for themselves?
Well, it's
You know what?
I don't have a sale. What's that?
You don't have the sales page up yet, right?
Yeah, yeah. They contact me, and I tell you what. The last a week ago today on the webinar, I said if anybody on this webinar has something like this, contact me. I need guinea pigs. And Bill contacted me, and what you see here on the screen, voiceover playback, is the result of that. I'm looking to get things done.
Okay,
So
so
and
so if people want to contact you and buy guinea pig, you don't mean they're getting it for free, but they're getting it for a substantially reduced price, right?
Yes, I'm slashing, and I'm doing the absolute best bang up job I can do. Professional artists, I'm going to do a good job no matter what, but these are my flagship sites, so
And
they get
and
a.
and just to explain to people, the reason why you're doing this is so that you can show others some live sites that are in existence, so other people can pay full fare and get this. Correct?
That's exact. I didn't want to do dummy sites, so why not do a real site for somebody and have it out there working?
Okay. Well, since people there still might be people who want to respond. How do they get in touch with you if they want to find out about this?
Tell you what, I will. They would contact me at. Let me do a Fred Gleeck.
Make it big so people can see it.
Yeah, let me find out. Bigger, 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 bigger.
There you
Okay.
go.
Excellent.
Okay.
Dave at wmmagician.com.
There you have it. So
So,
if you want to find out more about this now, Avish, have you do you have any questions? If you were playing Mr. Stupid and wanted to ask some questions about this, what would you ask?
Um, I don't know. It seems pretty straightforward. I mean, is this a whole system? Is this like a web WordPress plugin? I mean,
yeah,
how much control do you have over the content and everything once this is in place?
that's a great question. And it is turnkey, and we hand them a completely working package. But the pieces that make it work are it is WordPress. It's got a WordPress membership plugin integrated called Wishlist, and it's built on a theme called Optimize Press that is geared towards making great looking sites. So there's about plus then it's built on a Bluehost platform. So we go in and we do everything, and even the licenses that people have to buy, we absorb that into the cost. So it's a one-time fee, and what they are handed back is a site ready to make purchases now. So again, I'm going to throw this out there again, Fred, if I could. If there's people listening on this call that have a course that where they have a well worked out outline, if they have recordings from an event, or if they have a DVD, uh, contact me. This
Yep.
email right here. And Fred, I'll just show you the one that I did for you. I didn't even tell you I was doing this.
Yep.
I just put this together. This is your 2009 seminar marketing event. And when you log in, you a while ago you had given me the audio from this event. Well, I just took these are all the different tracks, and this is pretty much there. I have a page for bonus materials. There's your seminar ebook, but really the power of this is you come in, you click,
Let me give you that.
that audio is ready to go,
Now,
and you can sit here.
just so
Go
people
ahead.
understand this, the audios and the videos cannot be hosted on your WordPress site because it'll probably go past what you're legally allowed to do, right? So people may have to set up a separate account with Amazon, and that's not Amazon where you sell books. It's a separate division to be able to host the video and the audio, correct?
That's exactly right, and that is something also that we will help them with, because it's a little complicated to get set up. But here's basically how that looks: is
You
I
know,
have a
one quick second. Let me ask: Is everybody who's on the webinar? Somebody complained they couldn't see the screen or Dave's screen. If you can see the screen, can you quickly just put something in the questions that says yes or no? Yes, can see screen, just so I know that there's that everybody can see the screen. I'm hoping you can. Yeah.
Can
Okay.
you see it, Fred?
Yep. Thank you guys very much. I got a bunch of yeses. Yes, everybody can see it.
Okay, great.
Thanks, everyone. We're good.
Awesome.
Excellent. So that means that what happens here, folks, is that you now have the beauty about this for me is I have a lot of audio and a lot of video content. I consider it a royal pain in the butt to send that stuff out in the mail. And so, again, there will be a certain number of people who want the physical products, but Dave's solution here is something that allows you to have it all put up there. So what I'll do, let me grab back the screen
Yeah.
from you now,
It,
and
it, it, Fred, can I say
yeah,
one more
sure.
thing that's key? And that is, I heard something on the news that blew my mind, and this is dealing with the connection speed to the internet a lot of people have. There are still close to 4 million people on AOL dial-up.
Are you kidding me?
Is that? And I'm like, that can't be right, but it is. So the fact that I'm sitting here on this super fast cable connection, if somebody came here and wanted to download even a 20 megabyte MP3 file, you are looking at a customer support nightmare, because you're going to have to deal with people that couldn't download it, whatever. This is no downloading at all unless they want to. So that's another benefit for it.
Yeah, so it's not only it can be downloaded if you want to set it up that way. It can also, so in other words, I have the option when I have my video and audio files on here, I have my options to either make it downloadable or downloadable, or to make it non-downloadable, just streaming, right?
That's correct. That's exactly right.
And is that something that your system will allow them to do as well?
Yeah, absolutely. What we'll do is we'll integrate the buy link with their shopping cart,
Okay.
and we Web Marketing Magic is a great one to use, but the payments go through there, and I'll do the same thing if they want to have a physical CD. Now they're going to have to work on actually producing those, but we can sell them the same way.
Got it. Perfect. Okay, good.
I got one more question. This integrates. I heard you mention wish list. Will this integrate as well with Web Marketing Magic if you want to create a membership site so that people will, if you want to set up like a membership site so they have access to the videos, and then it'll automatically prevent them from accessing it once they cancel?
Yes, and it's called full integration. And the way it works, without getting too nerdy, when you buy it through your shopping cart, the shopping cart communicates to the website and says, give this person access. Well, it's also the reverse. If somebody cancels a payment, it'll say, well, stop giving them access. So the payment and the access are linked. And if one stops, the other one stops.
Got it.
Sounds good. Cool. Let me get back the screen here, and I will.
Okay.
Thanks for that.
Sure.
Does everybody? Let me just show my screen here. Now, can you guys see my screen again?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Okay, so now let's use this as an example, Dave. So when I come up with, like, I've got my free information marketing training here, which I'm just requiring people to give me their name and email address to get access to all this. But if I wanted to, I could set up I could set up a separate page and have everything on this page be set up so that they have to have a membership, or they have to have a membership, and that they have to pay for it to get access. And if I wanted to, I have about 58 components here. I could set it up so I could have 12 different sections, 5 in one, 10 in the other, 12 in the other, and have 12 sections, do those monthly, and release it to people on a monthly basis and charge them on a monthly basis, right?
Absolutely. That's a perfect model right there.
Okay, so that's something that I think everyone should look into. And one of the main reasons is because God knows it's just such a pain in the neck to ship out product. It's a thing that I really don't like to do, even if you're doing it. And again, if you're wanting to do that, you can do it through Kunaki and Kunaki.com. Then this is the only problem is it's PC only to upload your videos. So now, when you do that, and have you had experience trying to upload videos, Dave? How long did it take? Did it take overnight?
Yeah, last time I did it, and I literally it was probably like 8 or 10 hours to upload it.
Yeah. So, but the nice thing is, once Kanaki has it, um, they will then they will duplicate, package, and mail your DVDs. And so, if for example, and I just looked at the site recently, so I can give you some real numbers here. So let's say you've gotten a Kanaki account at Kanaki.com. You've uploaded your video. You spent 8-10 hours having your PC computer, can't be a Mac, to upload the file. It's an hour long DVD. You also gave them a graphic of how you wanted the cover to look, and so they will then, for a $1 per DVD, produce for you both the physical DVD, and the package for $1. And
They're
now,
down to $1.
yeah, it's down to $1. Now,
They can probably,
here's
wow.
the funky thing with them. If you produce more than 5 at a time, the price goes up, not down. So they're encouraging
Okay.
small unit packages, which is crazy to me, but that's what they want. So it's $1 for the physical DVD production and the packaging. So and it's shrink wrapped the whole bit. And then if you want to mail it, what it's coming out to, what I saw is on average, it looks like on average, and again, depends on where the country, but I think it's $4.30 for shipping, and handling whatever it is. So it's a total, your hard cost per DVD is about $5.30. So that if you tell a customer, whatever your cost is for your DVD, let's say you're going to price it at $47 or whatever you price it at, plus, you can put on there $7.50 for shipping and handling, and that's not really a high charge. Avish, would you agree? Can people stomach that as a charge, $7.50?
Oh yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, so I mean, this will allow you. So you'll now have, if you both worked with Kunaki and got Dave to help you to put things up, people would have two options, and that's what I would do on a site. Is I would have a button that says, push, pay here to get instant access now. I'd have three buttons. I'd say, pay here to get instant access now, and we'd use Dave's system. I'd put another button that says pay here to get the DVD shipped to you, and I'd put pay here to get both, so that we would have both instant access and have the DVD shipped to us. And I'd obviously charge a little bit of a premium for that, because
Yeah.
some people, in addition to wanting it right now, might want to have the physical copy, so when they go take a trip or whatever, they can throw the DVD in their player. Whatever they want, they'll be able to do it.
Hmm.
Yeah. And one other benefit that we can throw in when you sell a DVD, um, you kind of lose the connection to them, where you can't offer a whole lot of other bonuses. When you sell a DVD plus a membership area, you can have a page full of bonus downloads. You can have a community forum where people can post questions and respond. It just gives it a bigger feel to the scope of the product.
Well, let's go over that here. I want to let's list some of those. So one of the advantages is a forum for people who have bought the product to discuss, right?
Yes, yes,
So people who have access, for people who are members, we'll say, to discuss content amongst themselves.
correct. And
Uh,
that community seems to be one of the things that really gels a group of people to you by building a small community around it.
got it. So that builds community, and that's obviously a good thing. What are some of the other advantages of using this system?
Well, it's like if you sold a DVD of your seminar,
Right?
and it was a video DVD, you put it in your DVD player. It's difficult to try to insert the handouts from that seminar.
Yeah.
Whereas on a membership page, it's just you put a link. I mean, you could put 100 links, 1,000 links, doesn't matter. You can have bonus material included with it.
Yeah, so that membership site solution allows you to have easy access to things other than just the video content or the DVD.
Correct.
Cool.
Correct.
Okay, so that's really good. So now this solution, if people again want to talk to you about it, they can go to Dave, and I'll put it on my screen as well, at wmmagician.com, because you have not yet launched this. You're sort of in a pre-launch, correct?
Yeah, I've built about 5 of these sites, and I'm getting my system down, and I'm working on the sales page for this. But I would love to have a portfolio of a lot of different types of businesses. So I'm fine without it. But if people want to get involved, it's going to be a pretty huge discount because I'm at the guinea pig stage.
Good, 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 good. And again, just to let people know, this is not like a $10 or $20 thing. This is a serious solution that's going to cost you in excess. I mean, it's not going to cost you quite $1,000, but it's going to cost you a fair amount of hundreds of dollars, because it's giving you something that once you put it up, it can make you money forever, right? I mean, this doesn't have to be, once we set this up, does it have to be continually updated, or is it there good to go?
It can last forever. It's one of those balls that's continually spinning, and it's a trickle of income that you wouldn't have had before. So this is what internet marketing is, the heart of it.
Good. Okay. Excellent. So now, Avish, good, Dave. Let's switch over to Avish's site here and talk about Speaking Expert. I know that you were doing some more stuff there. Anything happened since last we've spoken?
Well, it's interesting when you actually focus on stuff, some things happen. So based on the conversation we had last time, keywords, but I'd only really done anything with one of them, getting that up to, it's been a pretty consistent number 12. So the last week, I wrote a new article that was optimized for a new keyword, which was public speaking anxiety. So I used SEPresser to get that to like 94%. And then, I decided to use Fiverr for the stuff I hate. So all I did was I was looking for someone to write articles for me on Fiverr, and someone said something like, I'll write an article and submit it to 400 sites, blah, blah, blah. So, when I first wrote the article, just optimized, it got to like 194 on Google,
Right.
which is good because it wasn't on there before. And so this person did this Fiverr thing. I paid him $5. They wrote an article, they submitted it, and about 6 days later, I looked and we were up to number 54.
Right.
So that was progress. So I decided what I just did yesterday is I went on and what I want someone to do is to write a base article for me with those keywords, which I can tweak and then submit to kind of the big article directories, because this person didn't submit to like the easy articles, the Go articles, that sort of thing.
Right. And how much is that going to cost you?
$5, still Fiverr.
Wait a second. $5. He's gonna create an article for you.
Yeah, there was someone who said, for $5, I'll write an article on any topic. So I said, these are my keywords: public speaking anxiety. Give me an article. So we'll see what it comes back with. I mean, it could be horrible, but if it's, I literally sat there for a few days with this on my to-do list, and for whatever reason, I just wasn't coming up with anything. So I said, even if he comes back with something bad, I can edit it and make it decent. So
yeah. So foregoing one latte, you got the article written.
Exactly.
And so now this guy, how long is the article he's writing?
I think it's 400 to 500 words.
God, man, I just can't believe people will do it for this kind of money. Because to remind everybody, this is $5 for an article that's probably somewhere between 300 to 500 words.
Wow.
Well, the first guy I did, he put the article together and submitted it, probably using one of these pieces of software to 400 of these article directories. Now, I didn't actually see the article. I had to go find it based on the links he sent me in his report. And I mean, it's a poorly written, obviously spun article. So I don't really want to use that quality for the good article directories. So that's why I'm having this guy just write the article, send it to me directly, and I'll handle the.
Yes. So even if he sends you basically a kind of crappy article, at least you can edit it, and you don't have to sit there staring at the ceiling trying to figure out what to write.
Exactly.
And so, have you gotten that back yet?
No, I just put that in yesterday. I think it's a turnaround time of 4 days or something estimated.
So now this is obviously one of the keywords that we're shooting for is public speaking anxiety, but we're ranking pretty well for which one? Public speaking tips or something?
Jobs.
Public speaking jobs. Okay. And we're up to number 12 on that one, I think, right?
Yeah, but that's been at a pretty steady number 12, so I'm going to have to look into trying to do some more backlinking to get that higher.
Yeah, and by the way, just for everybody, in case you don't know this, um, the first page of Google, if you're not on the first page of Google, it's sort of bad because I think first page of Google basically 93 plus percent of all clicks happen there. So if you're not on the first page, and even worse than that is number one position gets like I think 6 or 7 times the number of clicks as number two.
Yeah.
So this is why I'm always really proud of the fact that Stanley just sent me a report, by the way, my webmaster, saying that we're number one for 15 different keyword terms having to do with information marketing.
Nice.
Including the dead center one, which is information marketing, which if I put it in here, that is clearly the one. And again, that's coming up number one for me. A lot of times it will if you search your own stuff. But this is, I love it. Hey, look at this guy. Information marketing elite. And yet it appears as if the most recent article was December 17, 2009. I'm glad to see that things are up to date here. I mean, that's crazy to me. I don't know what Google's doing, but they need some help on their algorithm, because that's absurd if that's his, and I don't know what it is, but if that's his latest article, come on, let's that's crazy. But anyway, I mean, literally 15 keywords. So being number one is critically important, and getting up there as high as you can, because what that means is you get traffic, and when you get traffic, you get visitors to your site, and you have the chance to close them on something. So if without traffic, without visitors, it's hard to make any money. So now also, Dave, we should talk about Seminar Marketing Expert, which was at number one. I think it's dropped to number two for the keyword seminar marketing. This dropped, I think, to number two, which is here now, number two. And I'm wondering if that drop, we had it at number one for a good long time. Do you think that had anything to do with the fact that we changed servers for that?
No, it could, but I don't think so. I think we stopped the backlinking, and I don't think any new content's been added in a while. So
well, you know what? Let's make sure that what. One of the things I can do with that is, why don't you? Who has the username and password for that site now?
Stanley's got that.
Okay, if you don't mind emailing him and copying on me just to say, hey, can you send Fred a copy of the username and password for that site? Because what I'll do is I'll add some content based on some material that I have.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I hate being number two. You know
that. Yeah, I didn't want to show you that. That's failure.
I know. It's like it makes me upset. But it really is because of this. That number one position, number two gets 6 to 7 times less the number of clicks than number one does. So I want to be, if I'm in a market, I want to try and be number one. Other thoughts, Avish? Any ideas? What else do we have to tell people about that could help them in the area with the Seminar Marketing Expert thing? I mean, not seminar, speakingexpert.com.
I don't know. I mean, there's the stuff we talked about earlier, but I don't know if we're talking about that right now.
No, probably not until we get a little bit further along. But I think that this now, have we? What are our Google? I saw the Google Analytics thing come by. Have our numbers been going up in terms of unique visitors?
Yeah. I mean, I think real slowly. I feel like I kind of check it daily, and I feel, I expect it to be in the 15 to 20 range now. On the weekends, obviously, it's less, but it seems to, it used to be kind of 10 to 15. I feel like it's gone up a little bit.
So it's up to 15 to 20 a day, right?
Yeah, I think that's a good estimation.
And how many of those? How many are we converting to opt-ins?
Let me see.
Ballpark.
The last. I'm clicking on it now. About 7 or 8%.
7
over the last month.
Percent conversion rate. So maybe what we should do is, what? Why don't you do this? Here's my idea. Since the video here is the most prominent with you and me.
Yeah.
Is that what's trying to get them to opt in, or also we have the 6-figure secrets here, right?
Well, that's the opt-in, right? So
Yeah.
that introduces them to the site and tells them about the Six Figure Secrets book.
Now, have we tested that title at all?
No, this is all pretty much been the same since this went up.
Why don't we why don't we why don't we play with the title? Because I think 7 to 8%, maybe we can goose that up a bit. Let's try first things first. Let's do first thing first, and that is, why don't you kick me out of this video? Just do one on your own and say, hey, blah blah blah. Just talking to the camera, and replace this video with you alone talking.
Okay.
Let's try that for a month or so and see if it increases opt-in rates, and then point to the book and say, get it over here, which I don't think we did in that video.
Yeah, I don't remember, but yeah, I can do that. I can
Yeah.
record a new video.
So let's have the video all focused on getting them to download the free ebook. That way we can maybe, just throw one together and let's see. I'll bet it'll improve conversion, because I keep going back to, when you go back to, and by the way, Bill's new site is about to launch, which is going to be substantially different from this. But even this was getting some ridiculously high 20 to 30% opt-in rate, but that was because I think he was dealing with a very, very tight market niche. And I frankly, I don't know why, but it makes me jealous when I hear 20 to 30% opt-in rates.
Yeah.
But and Dave, do you have any thoughts on that? What else we could be doing or testing over here?
Well, not exactly. I mean, the only other option is I've been digging in with the Google Website Optimizer, which allows you to interchange different combinations of headlines and videos and bullets and things, and it finds the optimum solution for you, so you don't have to, tweak one thing and wait, tweak another thing and wait. So
Now, how
difficult.
long have you been working with that?
Well, it's funny. I was telling you about my brother when we were in New York for that conference, and that's what he does very, very well. So I've been kind of just gleaning things from him, but he does this full time for his company. And interestingly, he just got a promotion. They created a position for him called you website experience specialist,
Wow.
which is basically conversion testing and optimizing. Pretty
Wow.
cool.
Wow. I think that
So anyway, he's been doing that for years.
no more money, but he's got new business cards on their way.
Yeah, it sounds better at least to nerds. It does.
Oh man. Well, I like the idea. So now, is the Google, let's be honest with people who are maybe other than, tech geeks, can the Google website optimizer be used by an average Joe or Joanne?
Uh, on a 1 through 10 scale, where one's really easy and 10 is really hard. The learning curve is probably, I'd put it at 6.5 or 7.
Yeah. So
Because
it's not necessarily all that easy to do. So now here's my question. Does Google have some decent videos to show you how to use it?
they do. They have some training, but some of the better ones are stuff you find just by searching, because people provide good stuff,
That
but almost better
cracks me
than
up.
they do.
You know what though, that it's so,
Hmm.
the whole idea of crowdsourcing that makes sense though. In other words, there are certain people who are good at teaching this stuff. I'll tell you, I just always, when I go to Amazon and start messing around with stuff on their site, I realize that Amazon is filled with programmers and Apple is filled with people who are into the whole idea of users and their experience, because
Yeah.
it's impossible to do certain things on Amazon easily because they just don't think in terms of the end user. They think like programmers. So Google Website Optimizer sounds pretty difficult. Now, is this something that that you could put together some training for?
Um, yeah, I'm still trying to get my head around it, and I want to see some real results. In fact, some of these sites that I'm working on, I want to incorporate that so I can show some results. Personally, I don't have any sites where I can show results, but honestly, the concept is sound. Like, if you've got 4 variable things on your website, which is the best combination? And that's what it does automatically.
So now, this is the typical multivariate Taguchi stuff where, so what happens is that Google allows you to preload three or four. How many options for each option? In other words, what's their, you know,
I don't think there's a limit. I think it's whatever you want to play with. The problem is the more variables, the longer it takes to get some baseline numbers to measure by.
now when did you start doing this yourself?
Oh, the past couple months, I've understood it. Before, I just never dug in with it.
Okay, so now you've actually had it up and running on a site for 2 months?
No, not on one of my personal sites. I've been kind of looking over his shoulders. He's doing it on their site.
So now the
So
thing is with your brother, he works for a company that gets a lot of traffic. So it doesn't take too long to start showing which result works best, right?
exactly, they're on hundreds of thousands of hits a day. So it's easy to get traffic there
So how
for a number.
often are they testing them?
Oh, it's nonstop. It's a large online furniture store, and their inventory is thousands of pieces. So they're constantly, tweaking size of pictures, descriptions, headlines, colors. It's really infinite the number of things you can test, but there are certain things that surprisingly, changing one word boosts a tenth of a percent, but for them that's $10,000.
Yep.
So
The other thing I want to know is this. Let's assume we had, four variables and then four options for each variable, right?
yes,
I'd like you to figure out, maybe ask your brother this as well. Four options, four variables each, four variables, four options each. That's a total of, whatever the combination is. How many unique visitors do we have to get an 80% or 90% level of confidence that we have the right combination? I wonder what that number is. I wonder
that,
if
that's
it's hundreds or thousands.
that's a great point. I'm sure that's a statistical thing, but I'll see him tonight and I'll ask him about that. I think
Yeah,
that's a good
yeah.
question.
So ask him four variables, four options for each. So it's a 4 by 4 matrix. How many visitors, unique visitors, do we have to get in order to know? Because I mean, the thing about it is that for most people, my traffic is decent but not huge. This kind of thing could probably work for me, and I should probably have, say something to Stanley. Is that something you think that Stanley could pick up pretty quickly?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, yes.
Yeah, so website optimizer, again, I don't think that anyone, unless they're getting a ton of traffic, should test more than four options with four variables, at least to start. But yeah, ask him and see. My guess is that an 80%, but now when you're using that, have you seen, I've seen somebody using this, and I've looked over their shoulder. It does give a percentage confidence related to their results, right? So in other words, it'll say 60% certain that this is the best combination, right?
Yes, yes, and it's purely based on well, there's two things you have to do. You have to set up the variables for it to run through, and then you have to define what success is. A click through or staying on the page long enough, or whatever. So um, those all factor into how effective it really is. But then it just comes down to crunching the numbers, and it tells you what your best bet is.
So now, does everybody have this if they have a Google account? Google Website Optimizer is built in.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's kind of like Google Analytics or AdWords. You have to kind of activate it and dig in with it, but like many Google things, that they don't charge you for it. You just have to know what you're doing and then go back and integrate it into your site. They give you a little short code to put into your site and replace, say, your headline. So in your code, you don't have a headline, you have this Google short code, but when you look at the site live on the web,
It
you
shows the
see one
headline.
of the four headlines.
Got it. Yeah, that makes sense. Good. Well, I think there's a lot of stuff to chew on. Thank you both for being on the call. I thank everybody else for being here as well. And Avish and Dave and everybody listening, thank you again. We'll do this again next week, same time, same channel. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Avish. Thank you, everybody.
So
All right,
everything,
see you,
yes.
Bert.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.